In the midst of chaos, Venom unleashes his rampage within a hospital, seeking Jefferson Davis' whereabouts. Panic ensues as everyone, including Miles' mother Rio, flees in fear. Amidst the frantic scramble, Rio selflessly aids a woman in a wheelchair, ensuring her safety by guiding her into a nearby room. A security guard valiantly attempts to intervene, only to be swiftly obliterated by Venom's destructive power. No one is spared from this menace. Venom's immense form engulfs the entire hallway, his tendrils extending in all directions, striking fear and causing harm to anyone within reach. The nurses attending to Jefferson's room are deeply concerned, resorting to extinguishing the lights and hiding in an attempt to evade Venom's attention. Driven by an insatiable desire for Spider-Man, Venom demands his presence. Miles steps up to the challenge. The ensuing battle is brutal, as Miles overwhelms Venom by administering an excessive dose of his Venom sting. Venom's suit and tendrils flare up uncontrollably. In the midst of the confrontation, Miles demands answers about Venom's true identity. However, his inquiry is met with a violent response as Venom hurls him through a wall into an adjacent room. Eventually, Venom recognizes his errors. Spider-Man is merely a young boy and not Jefferson Davis, with his tendrils ensnaring Miles. Venom inches closer to devouring the young hero, but just in the nick of time, Rio appears, armed with a gun, and delivers several shots to Venom's head. Miles escapes Venom's grasp, leaping onto the creature's head and striking it with a wheelchair, instructing his mother to flee. Miles momentarily hesitates, allowing Venom to seize him once again. Rio attempts to fire the gun, only to find it empty. Venom employs his tendrils, attempting to assimilate Miles into his own being, hoping that by merging with Spider-Man, he will regain his lost wholeness. In that crucial moment, with a broken portion of Miles' mask revealing his eye, a single tear cascades down his cheek, an image witnessed by Rio. She comprehends. Venom absorbs Spider-Man into his monstrous form, then gazes down at Rio. She implores Venom to return her son, promising to do anything. Yet, Venom remains indifferent to her pleas. His tendrils extend, enveloping Rio as he begins to draw her into his being, lamenting the trouble her family has caused him. But something goes awry. His head throbs with pain, and suddenly, Miles emerges forcefully. Venom detonates in an explosion of venom blasts. The symbiote is forcibly detached from its human host, and Miles lands triumphantly on the ground. As the police arrive on the scene, they open fire, showering the lifeless host with bullets. He collapses, lifeless and exposed. Miles seizes the opportunity to shield his mother, pulling her down to the floor. The officers surround the lifeless body, unaware of the host's true identity. They proceed to target and shoot at the wriggling tendrils. Miles grabs his mother, attempting to assist her to her feet. As Rio lay in Miles' arms, blood seeping from her wounds, she mustered the strength to speak her final words. With a voice barely above a whisper, she implored Miles to keep his true identity a secret from his father. The urgency in her plea was palpable, a desperate plea carried on the very essence of her dying breath. Amidst the turmoil, Maria Hill forcefully enters the room and witnesses Spider-Man cradling his deceased mother. Meanwhile, Gank, Mary Jane, and Gwen also arrive at the hospital. Stumbling upon the fallen hero, the sight is utterly devastating. The following morning, Miles awakens in his bed, feeling surprisingly refreshed. As he emerges from his room, he expects to find his mom nearby, but the reality sinks in. He is actually staying with Gank and his family. His heart aches as he realizes that his beloved mother is truly gone. In this moment, Miles finds himself at a crossroads. Recalling how Peter reacted when Uncle Ben passed away, however, he decides to take a different path. With a surge of conflicting emotions, he resolutely abandons his identity as Spider-Man. In an act of profound defiance, he forcefully tears his costume to shreds, unleashing a raw cry of "No more, no more, no more." His anguished outburst reverberates through the room, while Gank quietly bears witness to his friend's pain. As the chapter concludes,